right? So what happens when you compare? I'm looking forward. I'm focused, super focused right now, right? When you compare, when I gotta compare, I gotta look.
Oh.
I gotta look to the side. I'm not looking anymore. What happens when you compare? When you compare, you lose focus. Welcome back. Peace.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the In the Fire podcast. Hey. Thank you guys for tuning in, whether you're listening on Spotify, iTunes, or watching us on YouTube. We appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Welcome back. Yet another episode. I'm like, we say this every single episode, but I'm very excited.
I'm very excited about this. I'm very excited about. You know, Danny, I think you're very excited about many of the topics that we talk about. I almost want to assume that you're always excited, like I just said.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I am always excited. I even got my my podcast sweater on.
Guys, he looks like kind of like a doofus, right? Like if you guys are listening,
you're gonna be so mean to me,
if
bro.
you guys are listening to on Spotify, like you can't see it, but if you go on YouTube, you'll see like his doofus hoodie that he has. Yo, I'm sorry.
The sweater said, "Ask about my podcast." It works.
Like this guy thinks he's a businessman guy. I mean, he kind of is a businessman, but yeah.
Listen,
that's okay. You know, I agree with me.
It works. If it works, it works.
It does work.
Comparison.
Danny, there was this guy at the gym, and like, you know, he looked way bigger than me.
Okay.
And I just felt so low. Like, I just felt like I couldn't get there.
Why? Why?
I don't know. I just compare myself to him, and like, I don't know. Maybe he's just better than me as a human being. Like, maybe I can never get to that level.
But why would you compare yourself to him?
Because how could I not? Like, there's like 7 billion people on the earth.
Okay.
I mean, you're gonna have to compare yourself to people, right?
But why? What's the point of it?
I mean,
what did that do for you?
Nothing but bad.
All right then. So we can literally end the podcast there. Stop comparing yourself. Thank you guys. Find God and end the podcast.
Find God.
Yeah,
okay,
just
dude.
find God and end the podcast right there.
What? Like comparison? Like what? It's like what is so bad about it?
Bro, there's so much bad things about it.
Okay.
But there's also good things about it.
Good things about comparison?
Yeah, bro.
But every time I compare myself,
well, you're comparing yourself in the bad way. You're not comparing yourself in the good way.
There's nothing but bad comparison. If I compare my family to somebody else, their family like seems a bit more nicer and together, and there's more love there, and my family always has problems and stuff.
Okay.
Like every time I compare myself with other people, other like things, I feel just bad about myself.
What about when I compare myself to somebody that's better at soccer than me, so then I train harder to become better?
Oh.
Yeah, gotcha there. Anyway, comparison. I'm excited because this has been huge in my life. Not my life, everybody's life. Comparison.
Nobody better say that. Oh, I've never compared myself to anybody. Boy, it's a automatic like brain thing.
If you have Instagram, if you got TikTok,
oh my gosh.
If you got YouTube, I know you guys watching this on YouTube. If you got YouTube, if you've got Facebook, all that stuff, bro.
Every social media thing. Yeah.
You should be watching this. Send this to everybody. Not because I want to get more views, but because I want you guys to hear. Because I want you guys to hear about the comparison. No, but for real, social media.
Yeah.
How many times are we comparing in the back of our minds without even noticing?
Yep. It's crazy.
How many times, bro, do you know how many hours I've spent watching rich people and their lifestyle? Tell me you haven't. Tell me you haven't seen those videos of the mansion tutorials and then guys, today I'm gonna feed my $10,000 fish tank and like there's
all the
these exotic cars.
Yeah.
Hours of spending my life just watching them. What is that doing for me?
It's crazy. Yeah, like it's automatic. You compare how you live compared to other people live, and you're like, most of the time it leads to a negative output.
Yeah.
It leads to you saying like, man, I can't, like I'm not as good as that person in any type of way, whether it's in wealth or in like performance, like soccer. Like there's so many different bad things. I have like look, this story I'm about to say, it sounds like it was ripped out of a TV show. Like it was like something out of a movie, but it's literally this is like I remember like when one of our friends talked about like our examples and how it was like kid stuff.
Yeah.
This is another one of those kid example
Okay.
stuff, right? So check it out. I was in high school, right? It was during a rally. Rallies, I'm pretty sure, I think it's called a rally, where all the grades come together in the auditorium and we do fun things, right? We play like tug of war, basketball games, all that good stuff. In this time, right, I had a crush on this girl, right? And this girl was a grade above me and I just liked her, you know?
Yeah.
And so I remember this very clearly. I remember exactly how everything went down. We were sitting in the bleachers. I saw her and I saw her like laughing and smiling.
Okay,
right?
okay.
And I was like, what's she laughing and smiling about?
Hey, you know we've all felt that.
So, you know,
what you smiling about? What you smiling about?
I used her eyes. You know, I'm a very vigilant guy.
Okay,
used her eyes. I look down. I look at like the floor of the auditorium of the gym, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I see this guy. This guy's doing something really funny. And I see him.
I know where this is going.
And this guy's in his grade and in her grade, I mean. And I just like, in that exact moment I saw that guy, 100% comparison. It's like automatic comparison. Boom. I compared everything there is to compare about when it comes to another human being that's not me. I compared about like his clothes. I compared like how he looked. He was taller than me. Like he was older than me. He looked cooler than me. He had a car. Yeah, like everything that I saw, I was just like, I remember this. As soon as I did that, the comparison was like this. The comparison.
Oh, yeah.
The comparison. It happens instant. It was crazy because I think about it. Like I wasn't like, wow. I looked at him. That's it.
I bet you were straight chilling before that.
I was chilling, man. I was having a good time. It was fun. It's supposed to be a fun thing when you go to rallies in school.
Yeah.
But at the same exact moment that I saw this guy, I remember my face fell downcast. That's in the Bible. It's like my face I was like this. If people listen on Spotify, I just looked down. I looked down in like sorrow.
So,
like I was just so, because I felt like I wasn't.
You see Lewis walking across the gym with his shoulders all slouched and his head down, like just walks out, leaves school.
It's now that I think about it, I'm like, wow. In that moment, I compared myself. I compared his like attire, his clothes, his swag, his drip. I felt like I wasn't as drippy. I didn't have everything. I just felt like I wasn't enough. Like I wasn't sufficient.
Wow.
You know, and that's such a big thing when it comes to comparison. That's why that's like the first thing we talked about. Like comparison always leads to a feeling of insufficiency, a feeling of not enough, and that sucks.
It's
like, that's
fueled by that stuff.
Exactly. That's why. Like most of the times when we talk about comparison, there is a good part about it.
Yeah.
But the 90% of the comparison is always dealing with feelings of insufficiency. It's feeling that you're not enough because you see like the better. It's always like a better person, a better situation, a better everything.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's crazy. And what I've learned from that point up till now, which I hope I learned something, right?
Yeah.
Is that comparison exposes your heart, right? So what does that mean, Lewis, right? I wanted to say that comparison exposes a negative self-view, which it does. That's what I was like going through in that moment at the rally. But I say comparison exposes your heart because comparison exposes your treasure. In Matthew 6:21, Jesus says, wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will also be. Right? So it's like, when you think about treasure, what do you think about? Pirates, maybe, right? Yeah. I think about pirates.
The gold treasure, rubies
right?
inside.
Ruby. I think about pirates. They love treasure. They always go for it. They seek treasure.
Okay.
Right? It's important to them. They hold it at a high regard.
Yeah.
Right? So the question is, what do you hold at a high regard? What is your treasure?
Wow.
Right? Is your treasure pleasing people? What is your that's the question. What is your treasure? Because he's saying like wherever your treasure is, there your heart will be also. So it's like, what am I holding? Like, am I holding people's opinions of me in a high regard? Is that my treasure?
Whoa.
You know, so it goes way more deeper.
Whoa.
Because you're thinking about like, wow, what's important to me?
What was your treasure that you exposed in that moment?
That treasure, I feel like it was just me thinking that, you know, I get my value from my visibility. Like me thinking that what I look like determines like my outcome. Like if I look a certain way, that's gonna change how a person views me.
Wow. You
know, like that's like the treasure that I felt like I held so high. Right. I always thought like how I looked, what I wore was like really important. Because then if I didn't look a certain way, like if it didn't look good enough, then I'd be treated differently. Right. The thing is like it's not like that at all. I know if I ever got a bad haircut, yeah, you roast me, but you still be my friend,
Obviously.
right? So it's like that's like the treasure I felt like. I always put people's opinions of me at a high regard.
Wow.
That was like my treasure. So I realized that, and I'm like, wait, that doesn't even matter, right? It says Paul says it like, do I live for God or do I live for man? If I were still living for man, I wouldn't be a servant of God, right? So like that's like a complete verse that helped me out through those times, because in that high school, like during all of high school,
Yeah.
I've realized that I had like that fear of man that we talked about before on another episode, like that fear of man, living to impress people. That's not how you're supposed to live.
Yeah.
That is not how you're supposed to live. And you see that by understanding what like you compare about other people.
Wow.
Right? Maybe your treasure is like your looks. So you compare how you look to other people. You can like if you see a person that you think is less attractive, you might feel better about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But
Yep.
On the other hand, if you see a person that you think is more attractive than you, then you feel like you're done. Like, oh my gosh, my worth is done.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's the thing. The question is like, what's your treasure? That's the main thing about like comparisons. Understanding what do you really think is
gosh.
crazy.
Bro, you left me in shock. I don't even know what to say. You just went off about and that everything you said is just so true, because now I'm thinking about all the times where I had moments that I was comparing, and like now I'm thinking about what was my treasure in those moments.
Yeah.
And now it's like, whoa, like my heart's getting exposed, like right here, right now, like live. But that's so interesting, bro. That's really good points.
Yeah, like what you
really good
hold in
points.
high regard shows what you desire most.
Yeah.
That's my line. That's my line, yo. You guys,
y'all want to quote it again, bro? Do it.
look, like that's the thing. And what we talked about before, the comparison always leads to negative emotions.
Yeah.
Right? It goes from like, first you have to understand what's your treasure. What is the thing you hold? Do you hold status?
Yeah.
Do you hold money? Do you hold people's opinions about you? Right?
Yeah.
And like an example could be, a person might post something on Instagram, right?
We talked about it.
But it doesn't match their character. Maybe they're posting nice quotes. So it's like, oh, I love the Lord. Or not even like Christian. It could just be like, when people do you wrong, do nice to them back.
And I was gonna say that, bro. That was my points where like we're comparing ourselves to people we don't know. I have this story, and I've remembered this story my whole life. I was at this Christian retreat, and there was this pastor. I forgot what state he was from, but this guy, every word he spoke was wisdom.
Wow.
At heart. It was amazing. Every time he opened his mouth, everybody was like, whoa, that's awesome, bro. Whoa. So, and just the way he carried himself, everything about him was just like so freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And I talked to him a lot, and we were really close. And one day, I was young. I was probably like 12 or 13, and I came up to him. And I was like, bro, you're like I look up to you. I want to be like you one day. And he looked at me, almost crying. And he said, no, you don't. And I said, it broke me for a second. It left me in shock. I was like, what do you mean no? And he's like, you don't know what I'm going through at home. You don't know the kind of man I am. I've done my stuff, and I'm battling through things. You are your own person. You don't want to be like me.
Wow.
And it blew my world up, because I was like, whoa. But we're over here comparing to people we don't know.
Wow. Yeah.
I want to be as rich as them. Do you know how depressed they are? Do you know how many nights they're crying themselves to sleep with all this money in their hands?
Stress that's in their mind.
And you're over here, I want to be like them?
Wow.
Not enjoying the life that you have right now, the things that are being blessed in your life right now, in your season, where you're not stressed. You don't have, maybe you don't have all this money, but you're not stressed. You have friends. You're going to sleep happy, thinking about what you're going to do the next day.
Wow.
Stop comparing yourself to people that have different callings. Stop comparing yourself to people that you don't know, because you don't know these people.
Wow.
And even if you do, even though I think I know you, why would I want to be like you? You're going through your stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that sounds messed up. Like, why would I want to be like you? No, but I have my stuff and you have your stuff. Everybody is on their own path.
Wow. Yeah.
And you're over here. When you compare, what you're trying to do is pave this path into somebody else's path. But you're not built for this path.
Wow.
Your car can't handle that path. Your car can handle this path, not their path.
And that's so hard because people always want to be like everybody else.
Yeah.
Right. We talk about being the crowd, but it's you, like it's your personal life.
Yeah.
And what you hit on, that I wanted to speak about, is that everybody's in different seasons of their life. Like I could be in a season where I'm just like going through it right now.
Yeah.
You could be like a season of like prosperity or like seeing all these cool things, and I'm comparing my season to your season.
Yeah.
Like seasons are seasons, right? You have like spring, winter, like they're all different.
Yeah.
I could be in winter, you can be in spring when it comes to our lives. Not weather. We're talking about life right now, right? I could be in the winter and I'm just like cold in my house, like just going through it. You're in spring, like playing spike ball, having a good time outside, and I'm like, why can't I be like you?
Wow.
Where it's like, but I am gonna be like I'm gonna be in a joyfulest season soon.
And like comparing that back to the gym, we always compare it to the gym, but the example you gave in the beginning, where you compare yourself to this big guy that's been working out.
Yeah.
You're comparing your beginnings to somebody's middle or somebody's end.
Yeah.
How do you know he's not 15 years into working out and you're over here 2 months in, comparing yourself to somebody that's been doing it for that long, and with that much experience in it, and that much wisdom, and all the years they had to go through to struggle? And if you look at them 2 months into the gym, they probably look scrawnier than you do. You can't compare your beginnings to somebody else's, because they're, like you said, they're in a different season, they're in a different time, they're farther down the path or more behind down the path. Like you said, when we compare to somebody that is lower, less fortunate, to make ourselves feel better.
Yeah.
Do you think that guy at the gym is comparing himself to you, saying, "Oh wow, look at him, he's only been doing it for 2 months, and look at me"? Like, you can't compare that. You can't, because he's way farther than you are.
Wow.
Do you know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And I have this story that's in the Bible, and it was kind of crazy, but it's Jesus and his disciples.
Okay.
Right? So, right. So the disciples say to him, "Leave here and go to Judea, where your followers can see your miracles. You can't become famous if you hide like this. If you can do such wonderful things, show yourself to the world."
Wow.
This line, "You can't become famous if you hide like this." Jesus says, "Now is not the right time for me to go, but you can go anytime. The world can't hate you, but it does hate me because I accuse it of doing evil. You go on. I'm not going to this festival because my time has not yet come."
Wow.
He didn't listen to everybody else. He didn't say, "Oh, I'm going to go to this thing because I need to become famous." He said, "Now is not my time." We need to stop comparing our season to somebody else's.
Yeah.
And stop listening to other people trying to get us in different seasons that we're not supposed to be in.
Wow. A thing I got from that is like Jesus knew who he was.
Yep.
Like when you compare, like, hey man, I just started 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna compare myself to somebody that's been here for years. Why? Because I know who I am. I know what I've been doing. It's so important to know who you are before you compare yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Like in that moment, I didn't really have a strong identity. When in that rally, I didn't really have that strong identity. I didn't really who I was in that moment. Right? I was still trying to impress people. I realized now that, like I love God. I don't have to worry about impressing anybody, and I'm enough.
Yeah.
Right? That's a crazy thing. I always speak about it because I really went through it, and everybody that listens to my words are gonna hear it. Right? That you are enough. Right?
Wow. Never
have that lie. That lie sucks. That lie makes you feel like the way I felt when I compared myself to that guy at the rally. Like, that lie is done for like forever. Like I am enough, and so and also something I wanted to say. Just like a cool thought I got, like, we were all babies at one time.
Yeah.
Like, we all started, like, when you said that bodybuilder was probably scrawny at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, we all started from somewhere. So how are you going to compare? Like, we're all starting in our own ways. That, like, you comparing different, like, the way I heard it is, like, you're comparing, how do you say it? You're comparing your life to, like, somebody's highlight reel or something like that, right? When it comes to Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
When you look at people, like, posting.
I was telling my best friend, like, on Instagram, nobody posts sad things. You don't post like, "What's up, guys? I'm depressed." You post, "Yo, I'm in Greece. Yo, I'm in whatever. Yo, I'm drinking this. I'm hanging out with these people." Because it's a good. You're only showing like you said, the highlight reel.
Yeah.
So you're comparing yourself to somebody's either fake moments or their.
That's crazy.
Or their one in a lifetime moment.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. What?
It doesn't make sense. What I want to say, like, just for a second point, is that what we already talked about, like comparison always invites discontentment, right? It leads to discontentment, right? Watch this. I just want to say something really fast. Let's say I'm looking forward, right? I'm looking forward right now. I'm focused. I'm focused on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of my faith. I'm on him right now, right?
Okay.
I'm working on my routine. Last episode, watch that, right? I'm working on my discipline. I'm working on my gym life. I'm trying to, get good at my gifts, trying to become a better person. I'm trying to get that wisdom in every single day, growing every single day. I'm on that, right? So what happens when you compare? I'm looking forward. I'm focused, super focused right now, right? When you compare, when I got to compare, I got to look.
Oh.
I got to look to the side. I'm not looking anymore. What happens when you compare? When you compare, you lose focus. You lose.
I just got goosebumps, bro. That means more to me than you think.
I'm looking. I'm so focused. I'm getting my growth. But when I compare, you unintentionally lose focus on yourself. You lose focus on the things that are super important. You lose focus on things on your self-growth, right? Not only are you inviting discontentment, you're inviting a stop sign to self-growth. You're putting a stop sign right there. You're saying, I'm not growing anymore right now.
And you know what's crazy? It happens in seconds.
Yep.
Seconds. If you entertain the thought of those comparisons, it's game over for you. It's game over. If you look away from the focus, you just missed the red light or the stop sign. You just missed it because you looked away for a second to go compare. You missed it. Now you got pulled over by a cop.
Crazy.
But yeah, it happens in seconds. And if you entertain those thoughts, you're going into a hole. I'm telling you.
Entertaining thoughts. Perfect. You put it like that. Negative things, Jesus said it, things that will make you stumble will always be there.
Wow.
Things that make you question who you are, things that make you like not want to grow anymore.
Yeah.
The feelings that stop you from going where you want to go, that will always be there. So it's about entertaining it. What you're just saying, entertaining those thoughts. Am I going to entertain these thoughts of comparison, right? When I look to the left and I see, oh, that family looks better than my family. Oh, that relationship looks more loving. My partner is always fighting with me. We're always having issues.
Oh my gosh.
Like when you think about that, and I'm like, are you going to entertain that?
Wow.
Are you going to linger on those thoughts, right? Because if you linger, then you're losing focus. And what happens when you lose focus? Like, you lost it. You lost focus. Now you have to regain all the focus you got back, right? When you lose focus on the camera, you gotta go back to the focus.
Yeah.
So it's like, it takes time. So don't do that to yourself.
And what you said, like, it's always going to be there.
Yep.
This episode is not about, this is how you're going to eliminate comparison
For
forever.
the rest of your life.
Like, no. It doesn't matter how focused you are. Sometimes there's going to be those bumps on the road where you do compare.
Yeah. It's going to be there.
But it's about whether we're going to entertain them or we're going to use them for good fuel.
And how do we do that, Danny? How do we stop comparing in a negative light, allowing that comparison to deter our focus?
Yeah.
How do we use comparison in a positive way?
To build us up. We've said it 1,000 times. I feel like this whole podcast is about turning negatives into beautiful mindsets and lifestyles. We use this negative comparison, and instead of putting ourselves down and entertaining it and letting us tell us these lies that are putting us in this hole. Shifting our focus is instead turning it into helping us grow, into helping us be better, into helping us improve, not just improve, but strive to be better, to work harder to be better, because we realize to get there, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this.
Wow.
Instead of comparing. If I want to get to that guy in the gym that is massive and big, I got to come every single day and work out and take my vitamins, and get some sleep, eat right if I want to get to where he is. Not, he's so big, I'll never get there. I'm not going to the gym anymore. What?
Yeah. It's like like comparison can either be fuel to your gas tank or water to your gas tank.
Is that another one?
Yeah.
Add it to
it's another one. It's another one. Right. I mean, I don't have a car, but I'm thinking you put water in that gas tank, it's going to mess it up, right?
Definitely.
Same thing with comparison.
Definitely.
You use comparison the wrong way, it's going to mess up your car. You ain't going to go forward. Same thing in your life. You ain't going to go forward in your life if you use comparison in the negative way.
Yeah.
But if you take that comparison in a positive way, use it as fuel, you're going to use it to go forward, right? I have a story for this just because I just thought about it, where my pastor, he was telling a story about how this church would always invite him to go preach there, right? He was like a normal, like a preaching over there. They liked him a lot, right? There came a day where when the church invited him to go preach, he couldn't, right? He was busy. So he referred his friend, right? And he spoke highly about his friend in terms of his preaching capabilities.
Good guy,
right? He said that he was like, oh, he's an amazing preacher. You don't even have to give him any preparation time. he'll do it amazingly, right?
Okay.
So he told us that. I was like, okay, this guy's pretty good then. And then he told us that he referred his friend to the church, right? His friend went to the church, he preached, and he said that after that moment, the church never called him back.
Oh,
And I was like,
man.
what? That's crazy. Like, he just gave him a job. Like, that's just so cool. But
Not just gave him a job, but took away his opportunity.
Yeah. But
Ouch.
here's the thing, right? He could take that and say, man, I'm a terrible preacher. Like, I suck. But here's the thing. This is what he said. He said, after that happened, and I think he also said that he sat through one of his, like, sermons. After that happened, he said, like, that he wanted to get better. Like, that made him want to get better. He was like, I got to get on my game. That's basically what he told us. And so, like, using that comparison in the positive light, you take that comparison, and instead of saying, I'm not as good as my friend as the way he's preaching, he literally told us that he felt like he had to get on his game.
Wow.
He had to get better. And it's cricket, the same thing happened right before he told us that, right? I was having a Bible study with my friends, two of my friends, and one of my friends was just going off, saying so much wisdom about what we just read. In that moment, I was like, oh, this guy's good. This guy's like he's like my best friend. He's like, yo, this guy's really good. Like, damn, like, why is he so good?
Yeah.
And I had that, like, this stir up inside me. And I was like, what is this? And then after that happened, my pastor told me that, and I was like, wow. I compared myself to my friend, but it actually motivated me to do better.
The thing I want to say too is, like, be careful with the gas you're putting into your tank, because I'm kind of taking back the story that you talked about with this girl at the rally. What if you use that as a fuel? Like, okay, and somebody listening to the podcast, they're in that moment, they're like, you know what? They're right. I got to be better. Go shopping, and they start buying better clothes, and now they're Check your motives.
Wow, that's true.
Check your motives. What are you saying to yourself? I got to get my game on. Is it to better yourself, or to fulfill somebody's expectations?
Oh my gosh.
Are you trying to fill up the girl's expectations, or are you really trying to better yourself? Because the good comparison we're talking about is not for other people, it's for you.
Damn.
You get me?
Amen, yo.
So be careful with your motives. Don't have those wrong motives. Be careful with your motives. But use that good gas. Use that good gas.
There's that bad. I didn't even know. There's two types of gas now. There was gas and water. Now there's bad and good gas.
Exactly.
That's crazy. That's insane.
And you said another point a little bit ago about when you compare it to relationships. I just felt like I had to say this. Be careful when you're comparing somebody else to somebody else, right? We've talked about comparing ourselves to other people.
Yeah, of course.
But like you said, how come my spouse or my girlfriend doesn't do what they do? Or how come they act the way that they do? You know? We start comparing other people that are not us to other people. That's not our job.
Wow.
Like we said, we are in our own season. She's in her own season, or he, you know? We are in our own season. We have to go through the things we have to go through. We have different personalities, different cultures that we're combining while they, you know, like, every couple is so different. I just felt like I had to say that. So, like, oh, you know, like I said, my spouse did this and that person, you know, like, stop.
Yeah.
You're in your own thing. He's or she's your own person. So we got to stop comparing that.
Yeah. And third time I said this example, like, when you compare your families, right, and you say, like, that family seems way more loving. It seems way more, like, amazing. My family always has issues and problems. There's always drama. But, like, with the shifting focus, you're putting your focus on another family. You're not putting any effort into, like, sowing into your family. You're not putting any effort into repairing the love in your family, doing the things you have to do to make your family be better, right? A thing I wanted to say, that's good that you reminded me, was that, you know, when you compare, what are you doing with comparison? Like, comparison, like, when you do that half second, right, that comparison you're doing in your brain, it's actually not, like, doing anything. Like, you compare, but it's more important for you to, like, actually help, like, your family, help, like, your relationship. There's no point in, like, I mean, comparison, we talked about it, but I'm just saying, it doesn't do anything. It's not until you focus in on your family, focus in on your relationships, and try to help benefit your friends, yourself with it. You know, because comparison, it won't do anything,
right?
But you can do something with it, whether it's bad or good, right? Nice. So it's like, instead of putting your focus on other people, comparing other relationships, comparing friends, comparing your family members to other family members.
Your work too, your projects.
Your work, your projects.
This person's project is better than mine. What am I gonna do now?
Like that's effort that you could have been using to better yourself and to better the things in your life. Yeah. And that's what comparison is all about.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Whether you're listening as well as we appreciate you.
Let's recap real quick.
Go ahead, do it.
First point. What are we talking about?
I forgot.
Okay, dude. Whatever. Making sure you see what the treasures in your life, not letting comparison shift your focus, and using good comparison.
Yeah.
But remember, two fuels. Bad fuel, good fuel. Okay. All right.
And watch your motives.
Don't
entertain the thoughts. And let's do it. Let's do it,
guys. Don't compare yourself no more.
Yes,
better
sir.
yourself. Better yourself. No. Better yourself. I'm gonna better myself.
Okay, they got it.
No.
No, they got it.
Say it right now.
They got it.
Say I'm gonna better yourself, or I'm gonna do something bad.
I'm gonna better myself.
Yo, I want to see more power.
I'm gonna better myself.
Let's do it, guys. Let's better ourselves together. # better yourself.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Whether you're listening on Spotify, iTunes, or watching us on YouTube, we appreciate you. We love you. And peace out. Thank you guys. See you for the next episode.
Peace.